What's up, guys? It's your boy TPP, and I'm back with that true crime talk, baby. Let's go. What's up, guys? What's up? Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Thank y'all for being here. It's Tuesday, right? Man, happy Tuesday. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm telling you, I warned you yesterday. I'm exhausted. I am so tired, y'all. Seriously, I had to put on extra 3 hours today after work of hazmat responding. Dude, you want to talk about another level of exhaustion? Ridiculous. But anyways, happy to have the hours though. Can't complain. Can't complain about the hours. Man, but anyways, good to see you guys. If y'all could smash that like, smash that share, let them know we're here. Let me see who's here though. Let me see who's here. Stony Stone, good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Gator Hater, good to see you. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I'll be listening in the bushes. Got the holiday blah and migraine, but hey, I'm not pushing up daisies yet, so we're blessed. Hey, you know what? That's what I'm talking about. I'm like zombie exhausted. My day hasn't been exactly that great as well. It's been a trying day. That's what I'm trying to say. So I feel you. Darzilla says, hey, everybody, I'm early. Hope you are all having a good day. You know what? I'm having a better day now. Now that I'm here with y'all, I'm having a better day. Definitely. TLC is me. Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. April P, good to see you. Miss Donna Clark, good to see you. Hope you're feeling better. Miss Pat Gaines, good to see you. And Forever Army, good to see you all. Good to see you guys. All right, so we got some stuff to get into. And a couple things to get into. First, we're going to kind of jump around. We're going to do some Delphi, then some Idaho 4, and then some Delphi. And then if we have time, there's a little something going on in South Carolina that I want to touch on. There's just a little update today. So we might get into that as well. But yeah, other than that, we're going to do, the fun. We're going to jump back and forth. But we got some breaking news out of Delphi with Judge Gold. I don't know if you guys heard yet. And I'm not talking about the transcripts, which we're going to get into those. But yeah, it would seem that Judge Gold is having some medical complications. So we're gonna touch on that to get things kicked off. I just got sent this by Criminal Med right before I was getting ready to throw the live together. So I was like, well, we'll cover that as well. It's kind of kind of makes sense to cover it. Let's see. Miss Jamie, what's up, bestie? Wow, you're catching a live? Heck yeah, right on. Thank you for being here. Well, me and Jamie go like way back, man. My Lord, way back. I've known this girl for a long time. It's good to have you here. I didn't know if you were into true crime or not, but thank you for being here. But yeah, guys. So it would seem that our judge that's receiving a massive amount of hate on these YouTube streets, it would seem that she ain't doing too well. So let's get into this article. Judge overseeing Delphi murders case against Richard Allen suffers urgent medical condition. All right. Frangol, the Allen County judge specially assigned to oversee the 2017 Delphi double murder case against Richard Allen, has not been handling her recent caseload amidst health issues and hospitalization. You guys know the conspiracy theories are going to run. They're going to run rampant with this. They're going to be like, oh man, all of a sudden she's mysteriously ill and can't do her job. It's going to get bad. You already know it. According to the statement sent to Fox 59, CBS 4 by an Allen Superior Court official, Judge Gold has been working from home recently following a hospital stay where she received treatment for an urgent medical condition. And of course, we're not going to hear what the medical condition is, right? Because, that's just how that goes. Okay, that was, yeah. So that was just the little tidbit. I couldn't find anything on what exactly is wrong with her. I don't think we're going to hear anything. but I just found it pretty interesting, considering everything that's going on. It makes you wonder if it's like her medical condition was, brought on by all this immense amount of stress and craziness. She's probably in the middle. Well, not she's definitely in the middle of. Let me catch back up in chat. Jamie says, I'm glad I'm finally catching up live. Little man is napping, so I thought I'd listen in. Missing you. Man, I miss you too. I miss you too. Hope that little dude's man, I know. I haven't got to see the baby, man. And he's already huge. So, man, I will. Eventually, we'll get together, do some lunch or something, and I'll get to see the little one. Jeff H. Hey, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm going to be half listening to you out of one ear and editing a video for a client. Can't procrastinate on it any longer. Hey, man, I feel you on that procrastination. Yeah, I do a little bit of that myself. What's this? Gator Hater says she has skirshits. Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? It sounds like it's serious though. The fact that she was hospitalized and she's working from home makes you wonder what it is. Makes you wonder if it's like something serious or maybe stress induced. Probably it's just probably something stress induced. She probably got like an ulcer or something. You would think, and I'm sure like most people in the legal profession, she probably knocking back a couple. So probably an ulcer or something, right? I don't know, just speculations. But Criminal Med sent that to me, right? Like I said, right before I was getting ready to go live, and I was like, well, we'll throw that in the mix because I was going to cover the Coburger stuff we're about to cover, and then the transcript that came out. I wanted to go over it with you guys. I know a lot of people have already, but we do it different here. So, let's see. Jamie said, I'd love to do lunch. I know. I know. Tell me about it. He's going to be 6 months next week already. Dude, that is so crazy. Already 6 months. Gator Hater scared. You think she's suffering from some like loose bowels or something, Gator Hater? Man, I didn't even think I had enough energy to laugh today. Thank you. Sam, good to see you. Sam said, yay, I had a feeling you'd be on. Glad I'm not too late. Yep, I'm here. I'm running on about 75%, Sam. And that's being generous, probably a little bit less. Yeah, but I'm here. I'm freaking here. Sweet Home Alabama, good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Throwing up that Piscine gang, baby. Oh yeah, that as well. So Criminal Med wanted me to remind you guys about the post on the community tab on our community page, and it's not too late to get your guys' names into that card. So if you want your name on the card, go make a comment and let us know in that community post, and your name will go into that card. And then Criminal Med, what she's doing with that whole situation, is awesome. It's freaking awesome. So I'm glad she was going to do it, I think, regardless, and she chose to make to give us a chance to be a part of that whole thing, and it's just become like a whole community kind of thing. I don't know. I'm really happy about it. I want to explain more exactly how she's going to do it, but I think I'm going to let her do that later. I let her explain exactly how she set up the memorial because it's pretty freaking cool how she's going to do it. And she hasn't did it yet because of the rain, so y'all still got time to throw your names in. Moto Mom, good to see you. Hello, friend in chat. Hey, whoo. I'm glad today's a rest day. I'll tell you that much. I am struggling. I don't even know how I'm going to work out tomorrow because I have the same shift tomorrow. I'm just hoping tomorrow, like the hazmat situation isn't as bad because, man, today it was bad. It took 2 of us hazmat responders to deal with everything at the building. I'm really hoping tomorrow is not as bad, especially with that 3 a.m. getting in there at 3 a.m. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Gator says she's in deep up to that proverbial creaking chicken wire boat. We Oh, you're killing me. I'm too tired to even read right now. Horrible. Yeah, I don't know. It's looking bad for everybody, honestly. Like I said originally, whenever I was like, oh, I'm frustrated, just throw everybody out. I think we might be at the point where everybody needs to just be like thrown out. Let's start over. It's already not going to happen until October, right? Next year. So let's just start over. Hey, little mama, good to see you. Thank you for smashing that button. Yo, y'all smash that button, please. Don't make me call Jeannie Ange. She's probably already here watching just to see who smashed the likes or not. All right, guys. What's next? What do I have next? Okay. Next, we're jumping over to some covert stuff, right? One of our people had mentioned it yesterday in chat when we were going over Roger's paper, and it was about the cameras, right? And I didn't want to get into it yesterday because I hadn't seen what she was talking about at the time. Well, I went and looked into it, and instead of reading articles and all that, I found this clip, and it kind of covers it per se. But it's not that there's not going to be cameras, just not major media. The cameras are going to be controlled by the court, and there's going to be live stream, but it's going to be controlled by the court. And I'm not sure if it's going to be like a delayed stream or exactly how they're going to do it. I don't know the exact details of it yet, which I'm trying to find out, because if there's any way for me to live stream that when it happens, I'm doing that. I got to figure out how to do that. I'm gonna end up needing to like get a laptop before then, because I might be at work and have to do it from work. I'll do it. I ain't even playing. Let me see. All right, cool. Sweet Home says, I'll be listening from the bushes. I'm decorating. All right. Honestly, guys, this week I didn't expect a lot of people to be showing up to these lives because I know y'all are busy and stuff. So, but appreciate y'all having me on, listening to me while you guys are doing the holiday stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this video, this little article from Fox. I think it's Fox. Is it Fox? Yeah, it's Fox Live. Live now? Yeah. All right, guys, give me some ones in chat. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Big news out of Idaho today. A judge granting the defense's request to remove media cameras from the courtroom, but will allow the hearings to be live streamed. For more on the significance of this ruling, we want to bring in right now attorney Randy Zelling.
And you know, that's better than nothing, guys. That's better than nothing. I mean, I'll take that over nothing at all. I've heard some conjecture that they're thinking that if this goes smoothly, that this might be a new precedent, and that more and more of the courts are going to start doing this. And if that's the case, it's going to take the power away from major media guys on the court stuff. So basically what it'll do is, if more and more courts start taking control of the feed and allowing us access to the feed, but nobody has like cherry picked access inside, we all get the same feed here and the same thing. Well, that's going to even the playing field for us YouTubers and major media on covering these trials. I'm kind of excited about it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of excited because, you know, in my head, you know, hopefully not too long from now, in my head, I'm waking up every day and I'm live streaming, you know, at least 8 hours a day and covering trials, even if we're jumping from one trial to another, like being able to cover. Yeah, I like the idea, because we'd have literally the same coverage as the news. So no spun narratives, no crazy stuff like that. So it might be a good thing. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Thank you for the one, Criminal Man. Thank you forever. Pat Gaines says, TPP, I was in the kitchen baking stuff all day. I'm done tonight. Kick your shoes off, put your feet up, and enjoy. What's up, Art? Good to see you. All right, guys, let's go ahead and continue with this.
And who is always so great to talk to about many of these legal matters. Randy, thanks so much for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's get right into it. Let's just start with live streamed proceedings. Have you ever been a part of a trial that you've been able to watch live in real time?
No, most of my work is in federal court, where there are no cameras in a federal courtroom at any time. I'm not a fan. I'm happy to explain and unpack why, but no, cameras have no place in the courtroom.
Yeah, and of course, I want to ask your opinion on that, why you're not a fan.
Calm down. I don't like this guy's tone. I don't like this guy's tone at all. This dude needs to chill out. Here, let me change this format. I'm a little loud and a little big. There we go. All right. Do you hear this guy? Man, he need to get out of here with that. I don't like the way he's talking, y'all. I don't like the way he's talking. Jamie says, little man is awake. He says, hi, Uncle Thomas. Tell him I said, what's up, little man? Gator hater, let's rumble. I see you over there. Thank you, Gator. Actually, I apologize. Let me go ahead. Much love to all my people over on Rumble. Look like about 12 of you over there. Thank you all for being here. Looks like the army over there is growing. And then much love to all my people over on Facebook. Hopefully the feed's coming through. I can't. My Facebook isn't refreshing, so I'm not sure. Hopefully it's cool over there, though. Thank you all for being here on whatever platform. And if you could, smash some buttons, y'all. Each platform has one. Smash them. Let's see. Oh, Kathy Blanks. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Man, the blue eyes, they a little blue and red, and your boy a little tired today, Miss Kathy. A little tired. But all right, let's keep going, y'all.
Because previously when we were reporting on this Idaho case and the Kohberger trial in particular, the judge said that he was going to have more control over the cameras. But at the time, we didn't really know exactly what that meant. Now we know today the media's cameras won't be allowed, but they will be live streaming it through the court. So kind of walk us through what this means, hearing this today, and then also your thoughts on cameras in general.
Well, I'll work backwards. Cameras in general. I don't believe that they belong in the courtroom. I think cameras in the courtroom affects the behavior of all of the judge. It affects counsel. It affects the parties. It affects.
Oh, I get what it is, my guy. I get what it is. You got stage fright. You can't perform in front of the camera. That's what it is. That's what it is. He's trying to say that it creates a theatrics, right? That's what he's going to try to imply here. But if anything, most people, I don't think they really even care about the cameras being there. Now, maybe a couple of them are put on the show, but I think some of these guys put on a show regardless if there's cameras or not, to be honest with y'all. Miss Joy Delp, good to see you, Mom. Thank you for being here this evening. Stony Stone. Hey, TPP and everyone. I just stopped in for a minute. Have a goose show? Have a good show. Okay, I got you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. But yeah, I don't like this guy's tone. This I don't really like his tone at all with this whole camera thing. He need to get out here with all that stuff.
Everyone. I think it affects the jurors, even if you can't see the jurors. Being on camera, naturally, it's
the jurors know that they're not on camera. How's it going to affect the jurors if they know they're not on camera? What? Yo, man. Dude, this dude, I don't know about this guy. I really don't know. Tumbelina, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Human nature. If you know that you are on camera, you are going to behave differently. It may be consciously, it may be unconsciously, but in the courtroom, the evidence should come out, and it should come out unfiltered, unaffected, and unimpacted by the fact that there are cameras rolling. So I don't believe that they should be in the courtroom. I'm all for transparency. You want to be transparent, you open the courthouse doors and anyone can walk in and watch.
That's so stupid, my guy. You begin basically to like see everybody that wants to see this trial. You'd have to have the damn thing at a stadium at this point. Like this dude is ridiculous, man. This guy is absolutely, I don't agree with this guy.
And the media can sit there and take notes and then go and report afterwards to your earlier.
No. No, you're gonna give it to a second, third hand information. That's not what we want. We want that direct mainline information. We don't want no speculation. We don't want no narrative from no major media. Bro, I don't like you. To
your point, the difference is between live streaming and the media is that the judge, I believe, bought into the defense's argument that the media is completely obsessed with Mr. Kohberger.
They are. They definitely are. I mean, sorry, a lot of people on social media as well, but come on, they are. Well, let's not get that twisted.
and all of the press's attention is on Mr. Koberger, and it is unfairly creating a taint for a potential juror pool. With live streaming, at least the judge, since it's court controlled, will have some ability to control the outflow of what leaves the courtroom, and it will not be an entire one-sided sideshow into every twitch, every breath, every move that Mr. Koberger makes, all due deference to the police and Sting.
Well, and on that note, Randy, the judge said it's not about the media violating anything, but more about lessening the burden on the bailiffs. So how hard is it?
So the judge doesn't even care about what this dude's talking about. I don't like this guy. Why did they bring this guy on? Damn it, Fox. You need to bring up better people. I don't like this dude.
For the court to control the publicity of a high-profile case like this one?
Well, certainly when you have cameras in the courtroom, it's a near impossibility. So this way, I think the judge is cutting what we would call a good deal. Everybody's a little happy. Everyone's a little unhappy. The defense is unhappy because there still will be video, but the defense is happy because it's not the media and instead it's a court's live stream feed. The prosecution's a little unhappy because they wanted the cameras, and the prosecution is a little happy because, again, you have the court at least streaming something. But again, if it were up to me, cameras do not belong in the courtroom.
And good thing it's not up to you, my guy. I don't like this guy. I should have picked a better clip to go over this stuff. Let me see. Miss Sassy, good to see you. Good to see you. Miss Sassy says, I want to thank whoever gave me a gift membership yesterday. I appreciate it very much. Man, who were my gifters yesterday? I can't remember, Miss Sassy. My days were running together, and we got so many awesome people in here constantly dropping gifted memberships. It's hard for me to keep up. That's why I got to write it down. But when I write it down, I don't put the date, so it's hard to, Kathy Blank says, whatever. Catch his smirky smile. Right. Mom says she think I might have been April. Miss Sassy. Darzel said, well, yeah, he is accused of unaliving 4 college kids. I know, right? Man, you could tell some people that are connected and speak on this case, whether it's with the major media or with YouTubers, like some people that get the platform and get up there and get their shot at it. Like, man, they really go all in. This dude, I mean, he didn't waste his shot. I just don't like his message. We need to get out of here with that. We in 2023, bro, about to be 2024. This is a new age. Everybody wants to know what's going on. We all have the right to know. We're citizens, sir. Tomalina says, it baffles me on how many crazy peeps are in love with Burger. Bro, that is no joke. It doesn't just baffle me. It sickens me. It literally, it shows you how screwed up our society is right now. Let's see. How you doing? Therian, how are you doing? I like that. That's a unique name. Your local Therian. All right, I think I might almost be caught up in chat. All right, cool. Yeah, definitely sickening. I don't know. It's weird. It's very, very weird. All right, let's keep rolling, y'all.
And Randy, the judge took a little bit to make a decision on this, going back and forth, weighing all of the options here. But there's also the element of public access, like you mentioned. You want to make sure that this is a fair trial, but then there's also the interest of the public who have been watching this so closely. How difficult do you think it is for the court to weigh this, a situation like this?
Well, you also have to add in the third leg of the tripod, which is going to be the media and the press's right to access. And I think that is a very big concern of the court. But when we talk about a fair trial, when we talk about...
I don't even mind stopping while this dude's talking. Miss Sassy said, keep me in your prayers, everyone, if you don't mind. Miss Sassy, every day you're in my prayers. But yeah, I'll throw a little extra in there. Definitely.
About a fair and impartial jury, that's the operative word. It's the jury. It's not the public. Yes, we want the public to have confidence in our system of justice, and being transparent is a very good way to either instill that confidence or have the public say, hey, wait a minute, we need change because this isn't cool. But I think having the media in there with the cameras sending a video feed out is too much transparency, and it crosses the line from transparency to acting.
All right. Grandmammy Annie, good to see you, ma'am. Thank you for being here. Criminal Med says, putting on my son's prayer list at Sassy 7, he's a minister. That he is, Sassy. That he is. Criminal Med's always having him. I think we're probably on his perma prayer list because y'all, we need it over here sometimes. I'm just saying. Sometimes this chat get a little wild. But let's see. All right, let's keep on rolling.
And role playing and playing and panning for the cameras. So I think the judge here tried to strike a balance among the public's right to know, the defense and prosecution's right to a fair trial, and the media's right to access.
And going back to the idea of live streaming as a whole, how exactly do you think that's going to work? Will they be showing the proceedings in its entirety?
Forever Army. The public has a right to see how justice is being carried out. Concur. Completely concur. Yeah, no argument here on that comment. Pat Gaines, what on earth ever happened to freedom of the press? Isn't that somewhere in the Constitution, or did I imagine it? You know, there's a lot of things that, you know, I better not go down that road. I'm gonna leave that one alone. As soon as you bring up Constitution, man, we can go off into a different topic that we don't need to be doing on this channel. That's for Rumble, y'all. That's for Rumble. See you later. Good to see you. See you later. Hi, Piscine. When it comes to beauty, I'm on the top shelf. That's I haven't heard you say that one yet. I like that one. That's fresh. I like it. Okay, guys, let's keep rolling.
Entirety, or do you think there might be some parts that could be edited out?
There certainly may be times when the cameras get shut off. There may be conferences, or there may be proceedings that take place where the public will not have access to it. The jurors may be excused, or things may take place before the jury comes in. It will be very interesting, and it certainly will make it, I think, doubly harder on the judge when it comes to the end of day or breaks, when the judge admonishes the jury, hey, don't forget your oath. You're not to talk to anybody about the case. You're not to do any research. You're not to watch any video. You're not to watch any media. It's going to be all that more difficult if, in fact, the news and the media outlets are going to actually be playing the trial. And it's also doubly hard on the jury because the jurors are going to know that the world is watching. And that's not really a consideration that the jurors should be factoring in on deciding this man's fate.
And Randy, one last question for you. This has been kind of a slow process.
This dude does a lot of speculating. This dude speculates harder than most YouTubers do. Like, dang, bro, you read he's like he can read minds. He can tell the future. Like, he's speaking in absolutes. Must be a hell of an attorney, right? I mean, if you could see the future, read people's minds and stuff. Man, he really gives off like a nerdy Professor X vibe. Like, not a cool Professor X, but like Professor X nerdy cousin. That's I'm sorry, guys. Yo, I'm tired, man. Get a little loopy like this, whenever you get tired. Let's see. Forever Army. I love Rumble. Lots of free speech on that platform. Same to their own detriment, but lol. Yeah, forever. We're streaming over there right now. That's why I have a stream over there. Is one I always have to get as a content creator. You got to have a backup. You got to have a little bit of a backup platform, or 2 or 3 if you're smart. Extras, and that's not the only reason that we're over on Rumble. We're over on Rumble so that if any of my people want to talk about a case or a trial, but they don't want to use YouTube-friendly language, you can go over to Rumble. We have the chat room there, and we have moderators over there as well. Some of our people mod over there. Like Gator Hater, I think, is over there right now. I think my mom's over there. But yeah, so it allows us to have an extra space for our crew to go and chat with normal language, not YouTube, friendly language. Let's see, what else are you guys saying? All right, looks like I'm caught back up. All right, let's keep going. But doesn't he look like, Professor, X's nerdy brother? No? Am I just tripping? I'm telling you.
In terms of getting this trial underway, we also know that the death penalty is on the table. But now that that this decision has been made, do you think that things might pick up a little bit from here?
It's so hard to say when you're talking about stakes this high, and you're talking about, in my mind at least, a fundamental question as to whether this person can get a fair trial anywhere but on Mars, given the publicity of this case. I don't know that the mere fact that the judge has decided to kick the cameras out and turn on a court run live stream feed, whether that's going to move the needle in terms of speeding things up. This case is going to make its way at its own pace. The case will go where the wind takes it, if there's a strong wind or if there's no wind at all. So no, I think that there are a whole host of other factors.
Man, the only wind I'm hearing right now is this hot ass wind coming out you, boy. You're full of hot air. That's the only wind blowing right now. Man, I don't know about this guy, y'all. I don't know about this guy.
Like discovery, like motion practice, and the mere enormity of the stakes that are going to dictate the speed or the slowness in which this case navigates its way through the system.
Also interesting to note that the judge cited the Lori Vallow case, another, of course, high-profile case out of the state of Idaho. All right, Randy Zellin, as always, great to talk with you. Thanks so much for joining us to discuss the latest developments here.
Thank you for having me.
All right. All right. So that's where we're at, guys. That's where we're at with, with the Idaho Ford and cameras in the court. What y'all think, huh? Are you guys happy with that? You know what? Let me just drop a poll, y'all. Let me just drop a poll real quick. See what you guys think about that situation. There we go. So if you guys could give me your opinions on that poll there, I appreciate it greatly. And just so you know, that's not a typo. That's the judge's name, Judge. So Judge's decision. So, just in case people didn't know his name. Let's see. All right, let's jump over to the next thing we're going to get into. I know we're jumping into a different topic, but go ahead and answer that poll if you guys would. I want to see what you guys think about the decision. Because like I said, in my humble opinion, I'll take it. I mean, I'm not happy with it. I'd rather have like bunch of different angles and all the stuff we're used to in trials. But if it comes down to one angle, but we can see and hear some stuff, I will take that over hearing second, third-hand information from unreliable sources. You know what I mean? So let me see what you guys are saying in chat. Catch back up. What a weird dude in comparison. I know, man. That dude was kind of giving me creeps a little bit. Kind of weird vibes. Sam said, thank you again for including us. With Criminal Med. Oh, comment for Criminal Med. That last comment. Yeah. Big shout out. I thought it was a pretty awesome idea she came up with, and the fact that she wanted to include our whole community in it and make it a community thing, I thought it was pretty freaking cool. And her idea of what she's going to do is even cooler, I think. Criminal Med said, the judge is going to have his own camera operator, in my mind. Yeah, that's the thing, is some people are wondering how they're going to pull it off. Some people are thinking it's going to be too much for them to actually do. They're thinking the judge might be hurting. Like in the long run, they're thinking that by doing this, it's going to cut down on work on the court. But I don't understand how that could be, because I feel like running those cameras and making that whole thing happen, that's a lot of work. Ask Jeff. He knows about tech. He probably knows all about that level of broadcasting. That's a lot of work. I feel like that's way more work than having a couple of extra bailiffs there wrangling the media. Just my opinion. So I'm not happy with it, but I'll take something over nothing. Jeff H says, what if the bailiff's last name was Bailiff? Dude, that would be hilarious, Jeff. That would be hilarious. I would make a shirt out of it, honestly. Judge, and bailiff. Be a dope combo, honestly, Jeff. Criminal Med said, "Thank you. Working right now on things for visit. Rain hard today. Yep, that dang rain. But man, I can't wait to see it set up though. What you got? What you do with it? Let's see." Sam Rock said, "At least we will still be able to watch." That's what I'm saying. Better something than nothing for sure. Ohio got a bunch of rain too. Criminal Med, no crotch shots per judge, lol. Oh, man. Coburger should have embraced the crotch shot, honestly. Could have made money off of it, you know. I bet you one of those fangirls would have paid for a signed copy of the crotch shot. I'm just saying, of all those weirdos out there, Coburger should have embraced it, made some money off of it. I'm too tired, y'all. I gotta stop with the joking. It's gonna get weird. And Clara Clerk. Gotta cook, be back later. You better listen while you're cooking. What you thinking? Okay, guys. Okay. So we got a couple pages here. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna get into it. So I'm gonna try to get through the whole thing. I'm probably not gonna stop as much as I usually do. So here's what we're gonna do, guys. I'm gonna read as clearly and as fast as I can to get through this document, because I know some people here want to hear it, and some people probably don't care, but I'm still going to do it because I know there are a lot of people on the replay who are going to catch it and want to hear it. But I'm going to read through this. I'm going to try to stay out of watching chat for questions. So what I want you guys to do, if you have questions, is throw up a stop sign on it. That way I can see there's a question for me, if it's specifically for me. Other than that, though, I'm going to jump into this, y'all. We got a few pages to get through. But this is the transcripts. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So Supreme Court of Indiana, case number 23S-OR-311, state of Indiana, EX related Richard Allen, realtor, versus Carroll Circuit Court and Honorable Francis C. Gold, special judge, respondent. Original action from the Carroll Circuit Court, trial court cause number. Oh, I ain't even reading that whole number. Okay, let's get into it, y'all. Table of contents, transcript of in-camera proceedings, State of Indiana versus Allen, October 19, 2023. Let's see. Wait up, guys. Give me 1 second. I gotta make sure this is the right one. Dude, I'm gonna be so mad if this isn't the right one. Let me see. One second. One second, guys. Yo, this isn't the right one. All right. How did I get the wrong document? 1 second, guys. Un momento. I'm gonna be so mad if I email myself the wrong document. All right, no, actually, I think this is the right one. I apologize, guys. I had to read down a little bit farther. Okay. Okay, let's skip through the nonsense and get back to the proceedings. Apologize, y'all. Apologize. Let me see the poll real quick. Are you happy with Judge's decision? 38% say yes, 62% no. And I'm assuming the 62% no wanted like full on media, like we're used to. So I feel y'all. I feel y'all. Catch back up in chat. Miss Sassy says, sorry I didn't vote for you Sunday night, Cutie Blue Eyes. I slept right through Island. Don't know what happened at all. It's all right, Miss Sassy. Don't worry about it. I didn't even need any votes. We were good on immunity the whole time. All right, let me switch up the view too here, guys. Let's do this. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. And like I said, if you all got a question for me specifically, throw up a stop sign on it. Give me a red stop sign on it. All right. Proceedings. Attorney Nicholas McClellan, Judge, I wanted to do some introductions. I finally got approval from our counsel to hire a paid attorney to help me. So the court, okay, Mr. McClellan, small town, local government. So this is Jim Luttrell. He's a retired prosecutor from Grant County. He's decided or agreed to come on board. The court, okay, have a seat. Mr. McClellan, he signed the oath to my office. The court, okay. Mr. McClellan, and all that, I'm going to handle a written appearance. Attorney James Luttrell, nice to meet you, Judge. The court, nice to meet you, Jim. Mr. McClellan, next week. The court, okay. Mr. McClellan, or maybe tomorrow if I have time, Judge, if I get it done. The court, okay. Damn, court be like, just okay. All right. Mr. McClellan, but he will be entered in, and we're trying to get him up to speed. The court, okay, well, good. Attorney Bradley Rossi, well, I'm the one that kind of asked to huddle up. So if you want me to lead or if you want me to say some things, I'm okay with whatever approach you want to take here. The court, go ahead. Mr. Rossi, well, I think the court, Jody's got our portable FTR going just so that Mr. Rossi, oh, okay, that's fine. The court, got a record. Mr. Rossi, obviously I'm happy to hear that the court's going to make some decisions on the pending pleading today. The court, affirmative response. Mr. Rossi, I assume Andy feels the same way. It's a time it is kind of a get some closure, if you will, with regard to those items so that we can move forward. It is probably obvious that the tension from our side is coming, from the words disqualification that were murmured in the phone conference that we had a couple of weeks ago. I'm assuming you understand how that kind of raises the intensity level of the circumstances. And I guess if I have a concern today, it's that, we're going to go out on the kind of in the public, so to speak, in the courtroom and on record and have a discussion about an ongoing investigation. And that's what I kind of gathered from the email. I think you invited Nick to talk about that if he wanted to. The court, what the hell? Like anything more than words or sounds? Mr. Razi, and it makes me a little uncomfortable because I don't know. First of all, there are no pleadings that are pending, whether they're motions to disqualify or contempt citations or whatever they might be. that really frame any of the issues, and I have no problem. I mean, I don't have any problem talking about this stuff privately on the record in in an ex parte type confidential hearing. I just think it's difficult to expect that there will be any kind of structure to the idea of, hey, there's an ongoing investigation and just tell us what's going on. And I don't know that it has any relevance to what we're really trying to accomplish today. And I also don't know why Nick would want to talk about an ongoing investigation in public, knowing that in itself could be a little damaging to their circumstances. And so we're lawyers. We're used to having issues framed. We're used to having an opportunity to prepare, and I don't have anything to hide, and I know he doesn't have anything to hide. You've maybe gathered that we've cooperated. We ran into the state police post, our respective post, if you will, and I had somebody advise me of my rights, and I waived those, and I gave a formal statement. He did the same, and I'm not sure what we're going to benefit or that this will be productive to just open for this, and that's my biggest concern today. All right, wait up, guys. Let me see if you guys are saying anything in chat. All right, keep rolling. No stop signs. No stop signs. All right. The court. Attorney Andrew Baldwin. I'm more of a the due process side. I'm not really sure what will happen, but I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, and I would like the opportunity to know what's going to happen and prepare for their claiming or whatever before it happens. Man. These lawyers, they speak crazy, man. And I feel like I don't feel like I feel like I don't feel like I don't want to say ambush, but it's hard to know for me what to do when I don't know what's happening. There's not a pleading we can respond to, things like that. So, you had indicated that, when Nick said, I don't know if he said the word disqualification, but bro, these dudes are stuttering up in there, man. You could tell by the way that they're speaking that, man, they were feeling some heat in there. All right, the court. Oh, he did? Mr. Baldwin, was it that word? The court, affirmative response. Mr. Baldwin, okay, I didn't know if he just said it in a more generic way. The court, negative response. Mr. Baldwin, and your response was, I'm leaning in that direction or something along those lines. The court, Mr. Baldwin. And so that's, a cause of concern. I mean, we're still wanting to try this case in January, and I'm willing to. We have made changes to my office that will prevent this from ever happening again, and we can take directives from the court. We can, we're looking down every single thing on Delphi. We're locking down every single thing on Delphi. It's in a dedicated room. We put locks on our conference room or war room where this guy went. My friend went in and did this without my knowledge, and no document, whether it's benign or something super, like a crime scene photo, is ever going to be left alone for a single solitary second ever again. So, I'm hoping that can be something that the court, can say, all right, that's fine. And then let's get on with this trial, but I'll shut up now. Bro, like, there you guys go right there. For all the people like that are like not giving the leak, it's that is huge, man. That leak is huge. That leak is what has caused so much of this mess. And you heard it right there out his mouth. Like, he straight up admits to it in this transcript. That shit came out of his office. And now he's saying, well, nothing, it'll never happen again. And we put locks on it. Like, where was the security for the evidence in the first place? From what I'm being told by paralegals and other people, especially actually have family in cybersecurity, they're like, dude, legal offices lock their stuff down, their evidence, like their documents. That stuff is lock and key. Cybersecurity, all the security, like that's all super important. So the fact that that leak happened there, dude, y'all want to be mad at somebody? There you go. That's where the problem starts, man. And granted, supposedly, you know, it's not their fault. They didn't do it themselves, but it is their fault because it's their office, man. It is their, or, you know, they both have individual offices and whatnot, but, you know, it's your, you just can't, man. I don't know. Anyways, let's keep rolling. The court. Anything, Nick? Mr. McClellan. Judge, I guess my plan today was to give the court a summary of the investigation. I've got witnesses here and exhibits to present that go towards the investigation. I'm more than happy to hand those over to defense. I know it may harm the investigation, but I think it would be important that the court hear these things. So, I mean, come on, man. I hope everybody's listening. I guess the heart of it, inaudible investigation, I think it's important. I think the importance of you hearing it is outweighed by that. And so I have those things. I'm concerned that the leak is not just a one-time leak. And that's what I'm hearing too, y'all, from all the hearsay on the YouTube streets is this is more than a one-time thing. There's a lot to this. The evidence that we have shows it is an ongoing leak. However, it's being done and it's just what's next. I have an issue. What's next? I mean, I spent the past 17 days investigating this night and day when I should have been focused on preparing for trial. And when I say night and day, I mean phone calls at 2 a.m., 3:30 a.m., night and day. So that's where I am at, Judge. Again, I'm an officer of the court. I'm reporting to the court what I know, and that's kind of where I see my role. The court, okay. Mr. Rossi, you know, this is starting to scream due process to me. I haven't seen any of these exhibits, and I don't know really, frankly, I don't know anything about any of this. Yeah, okay. And I'm not distancing myself from Mr. Baldwin. Yeah, you are, bro. Yeah, you are. You're like, oh, man. I'm just saying I have no connection with any of these people, okay? And the idea that somehow the prosecutor is going to get to roll out a bunch of statements and exhibits and, you know, testimony without us having any forewarning or any idea, any way of scrutinizing that seems a little outside the boundaries of due process to me. Plus, again, I get back to what it is that the relevance to what is going on in this case. Why are we going to use an open courtroom to air an ancillary matter? It's not really connected in any way at this point to the proceedings that are ongoing, whether it's the Franks issue or anything of that nature. And I will tell you this, and I am prepared to show the court this, I would rather do it in private. You guys just heard that, right? You just heard what I just read, right? So I didn't make that up. It's in the transcript. He said it, not me. So, you know what I mean? This problem has been a problem from the very beginning. I have 10 pages of deposition transcript in this file from my deposition or our deposition that I took of Trooper Holman in this case. And in that deposition, he talks openly about how There were crime scene links from the very beginning, unequivocal crime scene links, and that as soon as this crime occurred, they were investigating information that had been released, because there were lay people that were part of the search party, and the implication is, and I've got the transcript, is that those people that found those girls started to essentially disseminate or distribute information, and law law enforcement essentially tried to catch up with them, but it was really too late, as you might expect. So he blaming it on, okay, I got it. See where we're at. Let's see where we're at. Damn. Okay. 11. I got to remember 11. Let me roll up and see who's all in here. I'm not seeing any stop signs, y'all. All right. Ivamos, good to see you. Good to see you. Hindsight's good to see you. All right. All right. Cool. All right. I'm caught up. Let me get back into this. Okay. Once it gets in the hands of the public, it's too late. So he told us that, almost volunteered that information to me in the deposition. The second concern I have is that I think I shared with the court, just as an example, a week or two ago, somebody sends me a court TV, bit, and I can assure you, I've never watched one of those bits on this case. I don't even know if I've ever really watched court TV. Maybe back when The Simpsons was ongoing. I don't know. And in that bit, Barbara McDonald is talking. Two different occasions, she mentions how she's getting information from investigators on the ground that were at the crime scene. Now we can all draw implications about that, but most importantly, it was corroborated by the fact that she was holding in her hand documents that I know to be directly related to the Purdue report. I mean, I saw the pictures. I know where those came from. And if you know, the point here is I'm going to say this maybe a little loosely, but forgive me. I don't care. I don't care that all this stuff is out there, because it's been out there for 5 or 6 years. I don't have time. He doesn't have time. He doesn't have time to sit and try to marshal all of this stuff while this case is ongoing, because there's no end to it. So basically, what I'm getting from this is basically he's trying to not distance himself from his partner, but he's trying to wash over what happened with his partner in the leak, right? Is basically like, the leak's no big deal because originally people had already gotten a hold of the information and put it out there. Well, no, okay, that they're both wrong. Both of those situations are wrong. The people that were part of the search, if they got pictures and put that information out, they shouldn't have did that. That's not correct. But to sit there and use that as an excuse for, I don't care, they've already been out there. I don't care that my partner's office is not secure for documents and evidence. Ridiculous. Anyways, but the point is the court needs to have some context that this is nothing new. I lost sleep over the fact that there's a man who's dead and that I don't even know, and frankly, Andy doesn't know, and it's tragic. I don't know what life circumstances he had or what surrounded this. None of that information has been shared with us. But at the end of the day, what's going on out in the cyber world and in the public, as you might expect in a case of this magnitude that's been publicized for 6 years, was beyond our control before we even got involved. Bro, you were capping, man. I get that. I get what he's saying, but it doesn't cover the fact that we had a leak from one of you guys. So maybe one of them should go, one of them should stay. Maybe you should do that. The incompetent one needs to go and the other guy can stay. And there, happy medium there. Anyways, all right, Mr. Baldwin. There's even a guy in Florida who says the guy in Texas who leaked all this stuff has received from a disgruntled Carroll County employee a whole file filled with stuff and photos included. This just gets crazier and crazier. And I haven't even seen the photos that were leaked. I don't know what they are, dude. There's content creators out here that have seen the photos. If this could be set for a formal hearing in the future where we have a chance to do it the right way, then that's one thing. But to go in there and we don't have any counter way to counteract anything. If I know what it is, I can, okay, that's that. I know what that is, or I don't know what that is. And it's, and in the meantime, we can, I don't know, this is the worst. Dude, trying to read what you're talking about is the worst, bro. Lowest point of my career right now, because somebody did what they did to me, and that has nothing to do with Richard Allen. And I agree with that. It has nothing to do with Richard Allen. It has everything to do with you, bro. It was you. I don't care if it was your friend, like any of that stuff. You're a professional, dude. You literally had evidence that's on a gag order. It's like it's sealed evidence, sensitive evidence, and you don't have it under lock and key. Like, that is literally your bad. You can try to blame it on whoever. You're bad, and your buddy trying to like protect you with, oh, all this stuff's been out there from the jump. Doesn't matter. Doesn't freaking matter, man. Anyways, any stop signs in here? Any stop signs? And happy Taco Tuesday, Abamos, man. That just made me hungry. Let's see. Chris Marie, good to see you. Good to see you. All right. The court. It certainly does not. Mr. Baldwin, Richard Allen needs to have counsel there, so I just don't want to go in there and not be able to fight back with evidence that we are, or witnesses that we have to counteract whatever they claim that we have. So the court, okay, well, here we go, guys. The court, okay, here are my thoughts in no particular order. I don't know how many folks are out there, and I certainly don't wish to air publicly to the world the concerns that I have about this matter. My intent in having this hearing was to go through some of the pleadings that we have not yet decided. So I was going to start with reminding everybody about the decorum order, reminding everybody why we're here to shut up, etc. There have been reports to my sheriff about disruptive people, and I will remind people, if they are disruptive, they will be removed, and my sheriff is fully prepared to execute arrest if necessary. Because I know we've seen in our other hearings, people have been disruptive and hateful. So under the rules, under the canons of judicial conduct, I'm required to advise people within the courtroom that the media is here and they are filming. They're doing full coverage, so there's only 2 cameras in the courtroom, and everybody's going to get coverage from that. And then I want to talk about the pleadings. Defendant filed a verified motion for immediate transfer of custody. The state filed its response. The motion, again, has a lot of inaccuracies and some speculations, and it has been refuted ably, I think, by the affidavits that have been submitted by the state, and I'm going to deny the motion. The defendant then filed a motion for broadcasting order. The state filed its response. Your motion's overboard. It's got a lot of irrelevant verbiage in it, and I'm required to consider individual requests for hearings. So I will, if the media wishes to have an individual request submitted, they know fully well how to do that. And I've provided counsel all of those requests that I've gotten so far for this hearing. So if you want to file them for particular hearings, you're certainly welcome to do that. But the media is all over this, and they know how to do this. Mr. Razi, yeah, I was just trying to understand, are you suggesting that you're going to determine that on a case-by-case basis or a hearing-by-hearing basis? The court, hearing by hearing. Mr. Razi, okay. The court, yeah. Mr. Razi, all right, okay. I just wanted to make sure I understood that. The court, the state filed a motion for leave of court to subpoena the third-party records. I think that was directed again to the DOC. I clearly can't grant that. I'm gonna grant the defendant motion to quash, but if you continue to raise his medical and mental health and pleadings, that's fair game then for that to be provided to the state. You have also, that is true. You have also filed, Mr. McFarland, a motion for future pleadings and filings to be sealed prior to being released to the public. I have not gotten a response from the defense. Mr. Razi, can I speak on that? The court, sure. Mr. Razi, I think it's important to note that, you know, we had this discussion come up before, and there was basically, we decided, okay, we're done sealing stuff. We're gonna make it public. I had, before we filed the Frank's brief, I had a long conversation with the court reporter, Karen Allen. Uh, so much Allen in that area over in Delphi, because I wasn't sure about Allen or Roller. I always want to call her Karen. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Mr. Rossi, Karen Allen, because I wasn't sure about the mechanics of how all of this stuff was moving from Delphi to your office. And I know that you had set up some kind of website or something that people could access. I was under the understanding, in speaking with Mr. Allen, I'm not blaming her for anything. Miss Allen, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm not blaming her for anything, but that when we filed these things, they were going from them and they were hitting a button where we were filing with Carroll County. They were hitting enter and they were sending it to you, and you were essentially filtering this stuff, or at least were seeing it before it became public. The court, nope. Mr. Razi. And so that's the way. So that's the way, in talking with her, that's the way I understood the mechanics, which I think is what happened to a pleading the other day. From what I understood, we filed something and you either put it in queue. I think anyway, I tried to do some homework on that, and that's what Mr. Baldwin, I was part of one of those conversations, and that's what she said. Oh snap! You got the two lawyers going in on the poor lady, the court. So, does that need a hearing? I'm happy to have a hearing on that. I don't have a problem with that, Mr. Razi. Well, I don't really. I guess I'm just telling you for context. That's what, Mr. Baldwin. I mean, could there be a happy medium of we file it confidentially and then the judge then gets a chance to review it first? Because that's what we thought was going on anyway. But if that's not what's going on, the court, no, it's being filed confidentially if you mark it as such. Mr. Baldwin, I know, yeah, I know that. The court, I had my staff mark the memorandum confidential after it had been filed and disseminated to the public, because the actual warrant was in there, and that's covered under a miscellaneous cause number. I'm happy to have a hearing. Mr. Razi, well, what is your ruling? I'm sorry, my bad. Okay. Well, what is your ruling? I guess to make sure I understand, I don't want to fight about something that we don't need to argue about. The court, I haven't ruled on that. Mr. Razi, okay. The court, you haven't filed a response, and that, Mr. Razi, yeah. The court, my question is, wait, before I read that portion, let me catch up in chat, y'all. Let me catch up in chat, see if you guys are saying anything, or if you guys are all just sitting there listening. Let me see. Was he in here? Kathy, was he in here? Yeah, if he pops up in here, my mods need to make sure that person is not in here. So he pops up with an account, erase him, permanently erase him. It's not timeouts. Like, I don't care if I have to ban like all 3,000 accounts he has. No longer has access to this channel. All right, let's keep rolling, y'all. The court. My question is, do we need a hearing on that, or do you wish to file a response? The Franks motion clearly needs a ruling, and I am working on that. The motion and exhibits are about 1,500 pages, and there are hours and hours and hours of interviews that have been made available that my IT staff has now cleaned to make sure they're okay. We already talked about that, and then that brings us to my concern that I raised with all of you on our phone call, and I write everything out, and this is what I intend to say in open court. I have concerns regarding the defense team and the totality of the circumstances surrounding your representation of Mr. Allen. Candidly, my concerns began at our hearing on November 22nd of last year. Mr. McClellan filed a motion for gag order, and we were in chambers, and you assured me, gentlemen, we don't want the media in our lives. We will not try this case in the media. Yo. Me sick? I'm just tired. If that's for me, I'm just tired. Unless you're talking to somebody else. You might be talking to somebody else, but I'm just tired. That's crazy, though. Said they wouldn't try this case in the media. We all up in the media. And less than 2 weeks later, you issued an undated press release that contained an awful lot of information that would not normally be revealed. I don't know. I think you knew or should have known those were potentially violative of Rule 3.6 of the Rules of Professional Responsibility. Yo, she's hitting them with it, bro. But it is that press release that prompted me to issue the order December 2nd, granting the gag order until further hearing. Dang, so she did it because she didn't. Oh my lord, this is stuff starting to make sense, y'all. April 18th of this year, you filed a notice of tort claim against the Department of Corrections. You stated in the notice that it was your intent to pursue our client's claims against you. The full amount of damages sought on behalf of my client is unknown. I don't know how you could do that in representing Mr. Allen in a criminal matter, then launch off into a civil matter. I think that's inappropriate. She's kind of on point, guys. She's making sense. May of this year, you were notified by the state of Brandon Woodhouse arrest, and the subsequent discovery of your work product. And I think it was an outline that you created for yourselves with the discovery. It was pretty detailed. I don't know if that's the right word. That's apparently happened in December of last year, and that was not revealed to anybody, not shared with the court. It wasn't shared with you, although apparently you guys knew about what was going on. Yo, dude, she's cooking. Yo, she's cooking, y'all. She's cooking. That makes sense, man. That makes sense. Okay, Mr. Baldwin, he didn't know. The court, you knew. Mr. Baldwin, I did know. The court. So then Mr. Woodhouse gets arrested, and here we are, grossly negligent to email to the wrong Brad. Your pleadings on the safekeeping order contain inaccuracies and falsehoods. That was proven in the hearing we conducted in June. The evidence presented by the state clearly demonstrated the falsity of your claims, and that was very troubling to me. Dude, like, come on, guys, for real. and everybody's defending this defense team. I mean, at least one of them is done messed up. Done messed up, y'all. Okay. And then the last couple of weeks that we have been dealing with, the state provided you discovery that has been severely compromised. We now have an ongoing investigation. I'm not going to call it a criminal investigation. I don't know what it is, but it is clearly being investigated by the state of Indiana. Dude, you guys, I'm telling you right now, man, I knew there was more to this. I knew there was going to be a lot of juice in this. Everyone involved has sought counsel, including you, Mr. Baldwin. Why, yeah. You've had an attorney enter a written appearance this morning. I don't want to get into the investigation candidly. You are the constitutional authority for the state of Indiana. If you choose to pursue it, that is up to you. If you choose to abandon it, that is clearly up to you. I'm glad to hear that you have cooperated, but Mr. Baldwin's attorney has clearly shared. I don't know if you've seen his pleading. Dude, these boys ain't even on the same page, y'all. They ain't even on the same page. Mr. McClellan, I saw it, Judge. Yes, I got it kind of late. He emailed us, and then the court. Okay, Mr. McClellan, I saw that was filed on the way here. The court. Well, yeah. So he's clearly shared it in his pleading down to the fact that an individual has committed self-unaliving. Which also, y'all, if this leak wouldn't happen, high amounts of speculation that the man wouldn't have unalived himself. So there's that as well. He included the fact that you left materials all over a conference room table, accessible to anyone, and this is a friend of yours who apparently you have consulted with on this case. So again, it's up to you if you wish to pursue that. I'm looking at the totality of the circumstances. You know, when I look at a suppression, the case, the law requires me to look at the totality of the circumstances, and that's what I am doing. And it pains me to say this, but the totality of these circumstances demonstrate gross negligence and incompetence on the part of the defense team. I am unsatisfied with your representation of Mr. Allen. I am gravely concerned about his rights to have competent, non-negligent representation. He currently doesn't have that right now. Bam! Mic drop. Judge just dropped the mic on him, man. So everybody talking about like, oh, you know, his rights and this and that. Well, dude, what she's saying is true. She's not off on this. He doesn't have right now because what you have demonstrated is negligence and incompetence. Now I am sharing my thoughts with you privately. I don't want to say this in open court. I would encourage you to talk privately about what you wish to do. I don't want this coming out. It is not where we need to be with this case, but I will. But you don't know that you have just now been made aware of my concerns and where I'm leading. So if you wish to have a private conversation, I would encourage you to do that. I don't believe your client is here yet. No, he's not. Clearly, you'll need to speak with him as well. So and I don't even think she's telling them basically that she's about to do it during that hearing, but she's eventually going that way because there's an open investigation. So we know for sure there was one leak already. You have the lawyer admitting to it in the transcript, but we have an open investigation and possibly an ongoing leak, right? So shit is serious. All right, let's keep going. Mr. Baldwin, I'm not good at reading between the lines. Bro, you lying-ass lawyers. The court, you're a lawyer. The court, you're a lawyer. That's what you do for a living. Yo, I'm dead. I'm dead right now. That's so funny. Mr. Baldwin, when you say have a private conversation, are you talking the four of us or the court? I'm talking about you. I'm not accusing the state of gross incompetence and negligence. I'm finding gross incompetence and negligence with you, Mr. Baldwin. So Mr. Razi, forgive me, go ahead. Mr. Baldwin, no, Mr. Razi. I mean, obviously, reading the tea leaves here, what you're giving us a chance to do is bow out gracefully, if you will. If that's the right term, is there a scenario where the court would accept if I stayed in the case? I mean, I'm a team player, and I'm not the kind of guy that just bail out on somebody just for the sake of doing it. But I think it's obvious that, he can speak differently, but I'm not as connected to some of, this most recent circumstances as he is. Mr. Allen is in a situation where he's going to have counsel. That's if he has new counsel. It's going to take them a year to get up to speed with the depth of information that continues to come in. And so I think that his Sixth Amendment rights matter. And, I'm probably the one that can at least move this thing forward with some sense of judicial economy. I don't like it, and that's not what I intended to do when I came in here today. But that would be kind of worst case scenario on your side, I guess. And so is that an option the court would entertain? The court, no. Mr. Razi. So basically what you're saying is you guys either quit or you're on quit on your own accord, or you make me fire you. That's what the court. No, I'm saying to you that this is what I plan to say in court on the record when we convene at 2:00. Okay, so she was going to do it that day. Okay. But man, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, how many of you would rather have the option? You screwed up, straight up gross negligence. Would you rather be outed in front of everybody or get that graceful bow out? I think I'd want to do the graceful bow out, but I've never been put in that position, so don't plan on it either. Where was I? Dang it. Okay. Well, so is this culmination of that you're removing us from the case? The court, I will, based on what I've just shared with you. Mr. Razi, okay, well, I just want to make sure we're the court, and I'm just giving you the opportunity to have a conversation, how do you want to go? How do you want that to go? I don't want to do this. But I will if I have to. Like, dude, you can tell she doesn't even want to have to do this. But at this point, it's like, what is she supposed to do? One of these attorneys is like, it is what it is, man. He screwed up, and it's a pretty big screw up. Okay, Mr. Baldwin, should we bow out gracefully, as Brad says? How would we even have a hearing? How would that go? Because if we're out of the case, then, Mr. Razi, then you're going to go ahead and rule on a bunch of stuff without lawyers in the room. That's the court. No, I would not do that. If you decide that your best course of action is to file a motion to withdraw, you can do that today, and I'll send Mr. Allen back to the DOC after you've had a chance to speak with him. Mr. Baldwin, would that happen before the hearing or after the hearing? That's the court. Your motion to withdraw would happen before the hearing. Okay, Mr. Baldwin. Okay, that's what I wanted. Yeah, the court. Yeah, because he has rights, and I don't want those rights compromised by having a hearing with him not having counsel. I assume if you choose to withdraw, that his financial situation hasn't changed, and he would still be entitled to court-appointed counsel. I can't imagine that he has the ability at this point to hire counsel. I don't know that. Mr. Baldwin, Brad and I need to go talk. The court, yes, you do. Thank you, gentlemen. Dude, she didn't, man, you guys, social media, like everybody made it sound like she went in there was just like a total horrible person. of these dudes, and I feel like it was pretty mild. It was pretty damn mild. Okay, Mr. McClellan. Yep. Thank you, Judge. Off record. The court. Thank you, Jody. Court reporter. You're welcome. The court. Okay. Yes, Mr. Razi. All right. So obviously, we're kind of trying to figure out how to address the issue with very short notice, very little notice. The first thing we did is really to talk to the client, the court. Mr. Razi, our client is a big part of this, the biggest part of this, and he has communicated to us that he does not want us to withdraw from this case. He wants us to continue with his representation. He understands, I think, that he's not the gatekeeper, or he doesn't have the authority to really force the court to do that. He would like to say that on record. We asked him if that's what he wanted to do. He suggested maybe he would do it in chambers. It seems a little bit of a difficult position to put a man who's accused but not been found guilty, put him in a courtroom and have him speak the circumstances with 15-minute notice. Andy and I'm going to speak for myself. I'll let him speak for himself. I'm going to file a motion to withdraw. I don't want to do it, but I don't think that I have a choice at this point. The options I've been given without any notice by the court really are either I withdraw or I'm going to be publicly shamed. And that's the way I see this. And I think the public shaming is there's not only a professional element to that. I think there's a personal aspect to that too. But when the media is teed up like this, and we show up here today with the court having told us that we're going to conduct some business that somehow bleeds over into a forced resignation or whatever you want to, however you characterize this, that I don't feel like I have any other choice professionally. I have a life beyond this courtroom and beyond this case, and I have a family too, and I have a law practice. But I think he'd been given some notice of what we're actually, if this would have been framed in a pleading format or some formal disciplinary claims, which there's a process for that in our business, then we could have come in here today with an opportunity to refute some of those things that you clearly had, thought though and prepared before we got here. And we didn't have the opportunity, and it's the idea I'm going to have to go in here in open courtroom and essentially defend myself against claims that I don't agree with without any notice and without any opportunity, I think is unfair. But I also have some common sense, and me going in there and standing my ground because my client wants me to is just going to make things worse for him. Truth. And so I'm going to withdraw my appearance. I'm going to walk out here. I'm going to walk out of here. I'm going to go down to my car. I'm going to call my staff and have them prepare a motion, and I'm going to withdraw my appearance. But I'm going to do it because I don't think I have any other choice professionally, not because I want to, and not because my client wants me to. And I respect the court has an opinion, and we're professionals, and we can disagree. The court, of course, Mr. Razi. And I'm extremely, I'd say frustrated, probably a soft word, with the idea that we've showed up today without any real opportunity to prepare for any of this. And I just think it's improper, and that's where I am, and that's my position. The court. Well, I think we talked about it. I think we talked about when you asked for a disqualification, and I indicated on the phone conversation I'm inclined to do that. So it's like they kind of knew what time it was before they got to court. They kind of knew. They had an inkling that this was coming. At least one of them did. Okay, Mr. Razi. It was a phone conversation that was not on the record, and then some follow-up emails. The court, true. Mr. Razi, there's an informality to that. The court, true. Mr. Razi, and you also said that you hadn't even done any research and you hadn't, had time to talk to your senior judge and all these other things. And he hasn't filed pleading with the court either. The court, no, I'm doing this on my motion. Mr. Razi, and I'm a lawyer and I'm a lawyer who practices in lots of courtrooms, and I've been through some disqualification actions. I've in 20 years, I've never had disciplinary complaint in my life that's been confirmed, if you will. But I've seen lawyers disqualified, and there is a process for that, and it's not this. With all due respect. Um, okay, well, here we go. Man, it's hard to keep track on these small letters, man. Where you walk into somebody's office, a judge's office, and they read you a prepared statement to you, and essentially that statement is an indictment on my professional, activities, and then you're handed, essentially a sheet of paper with two options, and one of them is, I'm gonna go out here and shame you, or you can quit. And quit. You can understand how upset that would make any lawyer. And I just think think it's the right way to handle this from a due process standpoint. So I have no choice but to, withdraw my appearance, because I'm not going to go in there and take a public shaming without having any notice of it. I just, there, that's where I am with it, Mr. Baldwin. I'm the same, withdrawing. I mirror what he said. I mean, I do appreciate giving us the advance notice. If there is some appreciation for that, I do appreciate that. Beyond that, I wanted to take this, and finish it out. I'm stunned. I don't know what to say. So I'll just say I'm moving to withdraw orally. The court, okay. Mr. Razi, is the court gonna generate some further instructions on what to do with all of this discovery that we have in the court? I already have. Mr. Razi, all of the information and the court. There's an order. I granted the state's protective order on discovery. Mr. Razi, no, I'm talking about my possession of all of this information. Am I to take it out to the trash can? Am I supposed to wait for another attorney? Is the court going to give us some guidance on how to move all of this information from one law office? The court, I did. Mr. Razi, to another? The court, when I granted the state's protective order, the one thinks it's the last paragraph that protective order directs you to return it all to the state of Indiana. All the copies, all of the whatever you gave them, they are required under that order to return to you. Mr. Razi, at the conclusion of the case, the court, or your representation. Who? Mr. Razi, I know what order you're talking about. I read the order before I came today. Dude, what the lawyers, man, I swear to you, dude, lawyers are so horrible. The court, okay, Mr. Razi, so we're supposed to just take everything back and give it to the state and then just retain our work product until somebody asks us for it? The court, your work product is your work product. I mean, I would hope that you would share that with successor counsel. I would hope that you would help successor counsel just with the transfer of all of the information, because that's in your client's best interest to do that. But that's entirely up to you. That's your work product, and that you have developed. I mean, clearly the discovery is required to go back to the state. Mr. Razi, okay, thank you. What do you want to do with Mr. Allen? The court, I can transport him back to the Department of Correction. Mr. Razi, do you want to make a record with his, I think it's appropriate that the court let him speak into the record his thoughts, unless the court just accepts that as notice that those are his opinions. The court, well, you wouldn't lie to me about that, Mr. Rossi. I would not lie to you about anything. Lawyer saying I wouldn't lie to you about anything is funny. The court, so of course that's your representation. That's what he would say if he were brought in here. I can't imagine the DOC being comfortable bringing him into my office. I would not be comfortable having him in my office. And that's another thing. So I've heard a lot of people say, "Why wasn't Alan in there? Why was it? It's his case." Because it has nothing to do with his case, as far as like trial proceedings. It has to do with these guys' ability to stay on the case. Okay, Mr. Rossi. Would the court also be inclined to mark as an exhibit the prepared statement so that it's part of the record? The court, I have the record rolling. Mr. Rossi, okay. The court, yes. Mr. Baldwin. So we're gonna leave, I guess, and we're gonna how is this? You're just gonna get up on the bench and say, the court, I will just indicate to Mr. McClellan going to be in there with Mr. Luttrell, and I will just say we've had a turn of events and defense counsel is withdrawing, and that's all I'm going to say. Mr. Baldwin, can you wait for us to get out of here? Oh my Lord, man. Let's see what she says. Of course. Look, dude, she even graced them. She was like, I'll even let you guys have an exit. You know what I mean? All right. Any stop signs yet? No questions for me? Okay, I'm keep rolling. Of course, we can have you. I don't know where you're parked at. We have a hearing set for October 31st that I'd like to keep as trial setting and appointment of new counsel. If you can get things together by that date to return to Mr. McClellan, that would be good. Otherwise, if with your permission, I will give successor counsel your contact information. Mr. Baldwin, okay. Mr. Rossi, okay. The court, where are you parked? Mr. Rossi, nice to meet you. Sorry to inaudible. Mr. Luttrell, inaudible. Mr. Baldwin, just right out there in front of the building. I mean, there's a parking lot. There's a little parking lot right in front of the building. I don't know what the court, everybody's in the courtroom. So I don't think that there's anybody out in the hallways. Mr. Rossi, I'm going to go get my staff member. I'm going to have her, I don't know, need any, rendezvous at some point and try to get the stuff back. Mr. McClellan, okay, that's fine between Steve and I and Sarah and you. Mr. Rossi, okay. Mr. McClellan, we will get it all. Mr. Rossi, that's fine. Mr. McClellan, done. That's either Sarah, Mr. Rossi, thank you. The court, thank you. This concludes the proceedings had in camera on October 19th, 2023 in this case. Yo, man, that was a butt ton of reading, y'all. Holy crap. Okay, so looks like I read everybody out of the room. I kind of figured that was gonna happen. I'm gonna roll through chat, see if you guys were saying anything. Let's see. Chris says, hey everyone, good evening. Wanted to thank you to whoever gifted me the membership. Let's see. Rapper did we are banning people, didn't want to upset you. We never said nothing. Sorry. I'm blocking him myself. Away from me, lol. But made me look bad. Yeah, that dude is he's kind of horrible. Let's see. Chris Marie, I had emergency surgery last Friday. Prayers for a speedy recovery. Hope you're all right. It's okay, thank you. I don't get to go back to work until after Christmas break. I mean, hopefully that doesn't hurt you financially, but I mean, nice little break for Christmas. I'm all right. All right, sweet. So you okay? Man, where'd everybody go? Well, that like everybody's like, I can't get down with transcripts, huh? I lost the people on the transcripts. I thought everybody would be here for it too. It's cool. I get it. It can be kind of boring. But I have one other thing. Let's see. We're only in an hour and 41. So I have one other thing I want to go over while we're here. Let's see. No, that's not what I wanted. I need history. Where's it at? Okay. So Criminal Med sent me one press release that happened today. This is from Fitz News, but we'll get into this. But man, yeah, it doesn't look like anybody's got any comments on this Delphi stuff, huh? Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll get into this presser right here. So this presser we have, okay, it's perfect speed. Prison presser, Attorney General announces grand jury indictments on SCDC staff and faculty. Y'all, this is crazy. And it's out of South Carolina. And we all know about South Carolina, right? So it's just a little interesting news I wanted to get into and cover. Crazy stuff, y'all. Crazy stuff. Give me some ones. Whoever's here can still hear this.
Greetings, everyone. I want to welcome you here today. I am actually excited that I'm here to announce the successful outcome of multiple state grand jury investigations supported by multiple agencies in multiple jurisdictions. These investigations have been supported by ongoing partnerships with the State Law Enforcement Division, the South Carolina Department of Corrections, and a number of other local and state agencies that you'll hear about in just a moment.
Let me see. Criminal Med says here, but so confused with this case in Delphi. I think a lot of people are confused because you have so many content creators out there pushing narratives, right? Muddying the waters. So it's like, look how much crap got said about what happened in those chambers. Well, I just read what happened in those chambers, and everybody's speculations, 90% of the people's speculations were false. So I don't know. And then, yeah, it's a lot of people don't even know about the leaks and all the different stuff that's been going on with the leaks. And I didn't really know that much about it either until I started digging into the dark side of Delphi. And there's just a lot of bad stuff connected to this. So, but in my opinion, what I just read, it sounded like one of those attorneys is most definitely negligent. So maybe they should have kept the other one and got rid of one of them. I don't know, man. I really don't know. But let's see. Sam says, I'm still here, just doing dishes. Oh, sweet. And Criminal Med, thank you for the one. Okay, let's get into it, though. Let's get into this press conference.
Over the last few years, we have had a number of law enforcement officials abuse their power within the prison system. We have also struggled with the inability to prevent contraband cell phones from getting into our prisons. The combination of public corruption and contraband cell phones has contributed to violent crimes, drug trafficking, child sex crimes, and other crimes being committed against our citizens. These investigations are part of our ongoing efforts to say no more. Today's announcement involves 3 separate state grand jury investigations that have been ongoing and supported by our local and state partners. And I can tell you right now, they would not be successful without the people you're about to hear from. The first investigation is known as Clean Sweep. It involves multi-count indictments of 4 individuals who are alleged to have engaged in criminal sexual conduct with a minor first degree, sexual exploitation of a minor first degree, criminal conspiracy, misconduct in office, and obstruction of justice.
This is insane. This is absolutely insane. What is going on in South Carolina? What is going on?
2 of the individuals in this investigation involve a sworn correctional officer and a South Carolina Department of Corrections employee. Here are the facts. Jacob Lance is currently incarcerated at Lee Correctional Institution. Mr. Lance was able to use contraband cell phones to communicate with his girlfriend, Abby L.l.l., whom he directed and encouraged to engage in sex acts with a minor child under the age of 11.
What the hell, y'all? This is insane. What? Dude. The true crime stories coming out of South Carolina, man.
Ms. L.l.l. recorded the sex acts on her cell phone and sent those videos to Mr. Lance, who was using a contraband cell phone in prison. Both Mr. Lance and Ms. L.l.l. have each been indicted with 5 counts of criminal sexual conduct with a minor first degree, which carries a 25-year to life sentence. They have 10 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, which carries 3 to 20 years, and 1 count of criminal conspiracy, which carries up to 5 years. 2 other individuals in this investigation were also involved. Brittany Welch is a correctional officer at Lee Correctional Institution. She is alleged to have enabled and or provided access to these contraband cell phones. Ms. Welch is also alleged to have tipped off inmates on pre-planned agency contraband searches, as well as helped to dispose of or conceal contraband or weapons. Brian Kelly, the other individual, is a food service supervisor at Lee Correctional Institution. He is alleged to have participated in the illegal contraband trade and helped inmates acquire these cell phones. Additionally, he has been arrested for 10 counts of possession of child sexual abuse material that was discovered as a result of this investigation. Ms. Welch has been indicted for misconduct in office, which carries up to 10 years, obstruction of justice, also up to 10 years. Mr. Keeley has been indicted for criminal conspiracy, up to 5 years, furnishing contraband to an inmate, which carries 1 to 10 years, and sexual exploitation of a minor, 3rd degree, which carries 0 to 10 years. The second investigation that I'm going to talk about was also known as Block Party. It involved several multi-count indictments of 2 individuals who were at the time correctional officers at Broad River Correctional Institution. The first individual is Alexis Tucker. Ms. Tucker is alleged, while working at Broad River Correctional Institution, to have tried to sneak in 217 grams of cocaine, 605 grams of methamphetamine, and approximately 3,249 grams of marijuana. Ms. Tucker has been indicted with trafficking cocaine 200 to 400 grams, which carries a 25-year sentence. Trafficking methamphetamine 400 or more grams, also a 25-year sentence. Possession with intent to distribute marijuana, which carries up to 5 years. Furnishing contraband to an inmate, up to 5 years. Misconduct in office, up to 10 years. And criminal conspiracy, which carries up to 5 years.
Y'all, this is insane. My Lord. What the hell? No wonder Alec looking all chill in the jails. You know what I mean? He's probably connected as hell. Criminal Med says, so they've thrown bankers in, lawyers in, and now the correction officers. Oh my God. They're locking everybody up in South Carolina, man. Everybody's going to jail. You get to go to jail. You get to go to jail. Everybody going to jail. Like, man, the old power structure is falling apart there, I think. A lot of people that were getting away with a lot of things for a while don't look like they're getting away with things anymore. Sam Rock says, that's crazy. Indeed. Should be life in prison. I'm with you on some of that stuff. Yes, indeed.
The next individual in the Block Party investigation is Jorge Romero Navarro. Mr. Romero Navarro was a lieutenant at the South Carolina Department of Corrections at the time of his alleged conduct. He is alleged to have supported Ms. Tucker in her efforts to sneak in all of that drug contraband I just listed.
My Lord.
Mr. Romero Navarro has been indicted with misconduct in office and criminal conspiracies. Both of those carry up to 5 years in prison. The third investigation is known as Gatekeeper. It involves new indictments of 3 correctional officers alleged to have engaged in misconduct in office while working in the McCormick Correctional Institution. The first, Ms. Whitney Thurmond, was a lieutenant and acting captain at the time of her alleged conduct. Dante Parks and Brandon Taylor were both correctional officers at the time of their alleged conduct. These 3 correctional officers alleged to have sneaked in packages on behalf of inmates and would be paid through money payment apps. This investigation also indicted 5 other individuals, which we announced this past July. That announcement involved 4 correctional officers and a corrections medical employee.
They are cleaning house in that state, man. They are not playing around.
These 5 individuals were indicted for various offenses, including misconduct in office, sexual conduct with an inmate, criminal conspiracy, money laundering, trafficking meth, unlawful possession of prescription medications, among other offenses. Now, I want to say this. All the individuals that I've just mentioned who have either been indicted or charged are presumed innocent until they are proven guilty in a court of law. These are allegations at this time. I would like to now talk about our partners and staff who made these 3 investigations and their predicate investigations possible. And again, the partnership that we have with the State Law Enforcement Division, the Department of Corrections, as well as several local sheriff's offices and police departments is made our job so much easier. The professionalism of the men and women with these respective agencies has really made a difference when it comes to dealing.
I will tell you this, dude. This man can speak well. I mean, y'all have seen him before, right? You followed the Murdaugh trial. You definitely have seen him. Well spoken. Criminal Med said, absolutely ridiculous. Who can you possibly trust? Man, that's a good question, Criminal Med. That is a good question. Yeah, it's like you gotta walk around with a lie detector test on you, one of them little mobile ones. You never know.
With drug cartel and illicit drugs coming in through the prison systems, the public corruption that you're seeing by some of these local officers, as well as now, unfortunately, criminal sexual acts committed by children that were perpetuated and facilitated from behind bars. We couldn't have caught this. We could not have prosecuted or indicted this without the support. What is remarkable about this investigation or these investigations is that this is unparalleled cooperation between the South Carolina Attorney General's office and all of the people standing up here in the agencies they represent. Rooting out corruption, drug trafficking, and worst of all, child sex crimes could not have happened without the support and dedication of so many people. I want to thank first, I don't know if they're here today, but the Department of Homeland Security was a federal partner who aided in this investigation. I want to obviously thank Chief Mark Keel with the State Law Enforcement Division. My good friend, my colleague, partner in this, Director Brian Sterling with the South Carolina Department of Corrections, who you'll hear from next, who, by the way, has been a leading voice, not locally, but nationally, on the need to jam cell phones and have that technology allowed through federal regulation and or statute. And I want to thank him for his leadership with corrections officials from around the country. Also, the Inspector General with the South Carolina Department of Corrections, Frank Kelly, and his team, they were incredibly helpful in this investigation. I don't know if he made it in, but the 13th Circuit Solicitor's Office, I know Solicitor Wilkins was possibly going to be here, but his agency and his staff were incredibly helpful. I want to thank the Simpsonville Police Department, the Lee County Sheriff's Office, the Sumter County Sheriff's Office, and of course, the members of the South Carolina Attorney General's Office, my staff, my team, who run the State Grand Jury Division. I truly want to thank them because I know firsthand how good they are at their jobs. And of course, they've had a very busy year, as many of you know. The cases that I've just talked about and the charges and the indictments are going to be prosecuted by the State Grand Jury Division Chief Attorney Creighton Waters, standing to my left, Assistant Deputy Attorney General David Fernandez.
The man, Creighton Waters, man. I love that guy. Where's my mom at? Criminal Med says, if you get stopped, can I trust a cop? Can't lawyers ripped off 150 by Palmetto State Bank? What would you do? I don't know. I'm not moving to that state anytime soon. I can't. I'm scared of that state at this point.
Special Assistant Attorney General Stephen Lunsford and Special Assistant Attorney General Margaret Scott. I also want to thank Investigator Grubbs and the ICAC team, our Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force team in the AG's office. We couldn't have done it without them either. Again, so many people contributing so much to make these arrests and these indictments possible. Again, enough is enough. And I can't underscore that enough. If you're in the prison system and you're committing these crimes, we're coming for you. And another thing I want to make abundantly clear, people behind prison can be just as dangerous behind those walls as they are in front of those walls if we can't jam the cell phones and if we can't stop the enabling by some of these corrupt officials. And the vast majority of men and women in the prison system are honorable people. I know Director Sterling will talk about them in a minute, but every once in a while you'll find a bad apple who makes it possible to make life more dangerous out in our communities because of the conduct and the things they're engaging in behind prison walls. At this time, I would like to invite Director Sterling to come up here to make a few brief remarks, and he will be followed by Creighton Waters, and then I'll close out.
Look at that. I brought some Creighton for you all. Thank you, Criminal Med.
Good afternoon. I'm Brian Sterling, Director of the South Carolina Department of Corrections. I want to thank the men and women standing behind me, the lawyers, the Attorney General's Office, SLED, our investigators, 13th Circuit Solicitor's Office, Homeland Security, and if I missed anybody, the Attorney General listed the folks that I want to thank. We've been warning about this day for a very long time. The Attorney General and I have, and others have, that we had the largest RICO case in state history being run out of a prison.
Damn, y'all, the biggest RICO case ran out of a prison. For a RICO case out of prison. It's freaking crazy, y'all. Freaking crazy. Criminal Med says, and the judges are trying to change how judges are chosen right now too. In South Carolina, the dominoes are going to fall. Dude, all the old money, all the old money and the old power structure is starting to get toppled. Crazy. What's scary is anytime you have a power or regime fall, like you never know what's going to replace it in that vacuum, whether there's always going to be a power that replaces it.
We've had suicides by a veteran. We've had a correctional officer shot at his house. We've been telling you that this is a problem over and over again. And frankly, to a certain extent, it's fallen on deaf ears in Washington, D.C. Can't even get a hearing. Can't get anybody to listen to Captain Johnson, listen to the Jared Johns family. I mean, that's all I'm asking for. So we went to work. The Attorney General was involved in this, getting other AGs from around the country. They saw what a problem this was. When folks go to prison, it's supposed to be for rehabilitation and public safety and punishment.
Criminal Med, do you think they're going so hardcore on like cleaning up the state? Because, dude, the Murdaugh trial, the whole Murdaugh saga in general, it was a really bad look for that state, for that area of the state, for attorneys in general, for the legal system in general. It's like a really bad look. So it makes me wonder if that's what has spurred this whole hardcore cleanup and all these operations to weed out all these bad seeds.
Being sentenced to prison. But the public safety aspect of it is gone in this day and age with technology, with cell phones. I've said it over and over again, the most dangerous thing that an inmate can have is a cell phone, because they can reach out and touch someone and hurt someone. And we see a real live victim today. And this young lady who, the allegations are horrific. I've said before, the allegations in that grand jury investigation are frankly disgusting. But for the cell phone, this wouldn't have happened. I saw that. I saw her picture, and I won't forget it ever. My grandfather was a Boston policeman for a very long time. He used to tell me two things: the most dangerous situation for a law enforcement officer is a criminal domestic violence case, and the thing you don't forget are the children victims. I will never, ever forget that poor child's face that I saw. I immediately called Frank Kelly and said, who's my inspector general, and said, this has to stop. He came up with a plan, and we've seen that plan in action. We saw the bust at Lee where we went in. We didn't tell anybody we were coming, and we came in and we hit that place, and we executed some arrest warrants, and you're seeing the results of those today, grand jury indictments. We searched 228 cars coming in 2 weeks ago. Everybody coming into corrections. I'm sorry, that's not a search, but it's basically the dogs went around the cars, and if we had a hit, then we pulled people out and we searched those cars. We're saying
Murdaugh is running betting with phone in prison. I bet he is.
a message to our staff. It's called zero tolerance. We're not going to allow you to come and work at the Department of Corrections and swear oath and be dirty. We're not going to let it happen. We're going to find you. We're watching you. One of these cases, our CERT team saw something that seemed odd. Someone came down to search someone at the front gate that they shouldn't have been there. And you saw the indictment on that today. We're able to watch our prisons, our front gates, and elsewhere 24/7. It's being monitored. We installed this a couple of years ago.
Julie Delk said, who found this case? Oh, Criminal Med found it. I told you, anything that has to do with the South Carolina, the Murdaughs, any of that stuff, Criminal Med tends to be on top of it. That and the Maya trial, man, those are the two ones that I know she's going to have that information on. That's why we're covering it. Kind of had to.
And if you have bad intent coming to work at the Department of Corrections, we're going to find you, we're going to charge you, and hopefully the courts, if you're convicted, are going to send you to prison. Again, and I'm going to talk about this again, the cell phones are the thing that allow this to happen. They allow inmates to coordinate contraband. They allow inmates to hurt our citizens. So what are we doing about it? A couple of months ago, or a month or two ago, I think it was in July, the FCC announced a new order that will allow us to identify the IMEI number, International Mobile Identifier number of these cell phones. So far at Lee Correctional, since July 29th, we have identified and shut off 790 of these phones. There's about 1,000 inmates at Lee. I mean, it's almost one phone per inmate. How do I know this is working? We did a search one time after this happened, and the inmates were literally taking their cell phones, their $6,000 cell phones, that's how much it costs, and sliding it under the door because they didn't want to catch a cell phone charge on a device that was basically a brick. The other way I know it's working is our legitimate phone calls, the phone calls that they can make for 5.5 cents a minute, have gone up almost 70% since this time. That's why it's working. In my budget request to Governor McMaster, I've asked for money for this system, these systems to be put in all of our prisons. So it's about $1 million to start the system, and then it's a little bit more than that, about $1 million a year. So it's about, I think we're asking for about 12. So it's 500,000 per institution, $1 million to start it. I'm hoping the General Assembly will see this. I know they've heard this year after year. I know they've heard it from their constituents. They're going to hear it from the Attorney General and myself again, and they're hearing it today. We need this money to be able to install this technology to shut these phones off. It appears to be working. We've got a couple of people we're testing. We're going to be testing it at upstate prison soon. We're testing at Lee, and then we have a mobile solution that we're going to test. And
Right, Sam. Sam says, he says, we're going to find you. I like it too. They ain't playing sled, and they ain't playing in South Carolina right now.
we're going to see which one works. We're going to bid it out, go through the procurement process as we have to, and then start installing these systems. Again, I want to thank our folks. I want to thank our prosecutors. I want to thank our partners. We wouldn't be here today without their hard work. But some of these allegations are just very disturbing. I mean, just anybody that was in court today, I have no words. I mean, and these are allegations, but I mean, I've seen a lot in my time as director of Department of Corrections. Today was a day I will never forget. And I think everybody that was in court today probably feels the same way. Thank you, Attorney General, and I'll turn it over to Craig for a second. I did. No, I have not. I will. Yes, thank you. Good suggestion by the Attorney General. So the difference between jamming is which is what I've been calling, is basically you put a curtain over the prison and you deny service to those cell phones. That's what jamming is. The federal prisons, we've got a prison, Bennettsville, and there's a federal prison right across the street, literally right across the street. We can't jam, but they can jam. I know they're testing this jamming at 5 federal prisons across the country. I think one is in Atlanta, but we can't jam, but they can jam. So that would deny service. We would not have to find the phone and turn it off. What we're doing with the IMEI is we are identifying the phone, the International Mobile Identifier, which is actually how you make the phone call. It's not your cell phone number. It's how they connect the phones in their system. We're identifying that, and then we're turning it over to the carriers. Carriers have 2 days to deny service to that phone. The carriers have not been our friend in this fight against jamming, but they have been irresponsive, I should say, with turning these phones off. There has been no problems with that at all. They've done a great job. They have been good partners. And if I could just give a little bit of history how this got here, how we got here. We had several meetings across the country, frankly, with corrections directors, and then we went to Washington, D.C. We had a field hearing here. Governor Haley testified in front of that. Governor McMaster then wrote some letters, asked Senator Graham to file some legislation. I know the Attorney General did that also. And then we had a big meeting in D.C. with the FBI, Justice Department, and FCC and others, and it kind of came from that. And then we had one-offs with a group of corrections directors from the country and the industry. They were 100% against.
Let's see. Criminal Med says the judges are trying to get their garbage out that the Murdochs bought and stole. That's what it seems like. Julie Doak says, "Damn, I had to leave. Now I'm lost on what we're talking about." We've covered a few topics on this one, but this case is like it's a presser. You'd have to go back and listen to it. All the different indictments that they just covered. It's crazy. This stuff is it is absolutely horrible. South Carolina had major stings in correction officers in prisons. Julie Doak. C. Waters is running hard to Creighton Waters, man. He's definitely cleaning house. And once we get through the Creighton part of the presser, then I think that might be a wrap on it.
Jamming. They said, what about this IMEI? We can add these to a list and shut these off. It's not the stolen phone database, but it's the same type of thing where if your phone's stolen, you would call Verizon or AT&T and say, hey, my phone has been stolen. They would then add it to a stolen phone database and they would shut it off. I again say this is not the stolen phone database. They are not adding it to the stolen phone database. What they're doing is they're adding it to a contraband phone, basically database, and shutting these phones off. That is the difference. How did I do? Great. Good. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Creighton Waters. I'm the chief attorney of the state grand jury, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the state grand jury and these partnerships that we have up here. The state grand jury has really historically been the glue that sort of holds these sort of multi-agency partnerships together so that we're all able to punch much harder above our weight class than we could individually. And one of the things in doing the complex narcotics trafficking and gang cases that we've been doing in the state grand jury for years was we started to realize that in every one of those major investigations, there was at least some respect. The criminality, the leadership of these narcotics operations, of these gang criminality was going back to leadership within the prisons. And we came to the conclusion that we cannot continue to send people to prison for double digits and not do something to help the problem. And so what we did was reach out to Director Sterling and put in place a partnership whereby we are able to deputize SCDC attorneys to essentially serve as prosecutors in this case, and they've been instrumental. We have Margaret Scott and Steve Lunsford up here who've been instrumental in doing that. I also want to mention Jennifer McKellar, who's another person, one of the AG staff who's been working so hard on this case. But ultimately, that's really what excites me about this particular result here today is you're seeing good results from that partnership. You're seeing these two agencies work together together along with other local and federal partners to make a difference. And I want to echo this because I've gotten up here as well at many of these press conferences, and we've talked about the problems of cell phones and how much significant criminality emanates from the prisons with the cell phones. And we've been singing that tune for a long time. We've been talking about COs being shot. We've been talking about drugs. We've been talking about gangs. But this time it's different. This time we have a child that was victimized in the most horrible way possible. And I have some words for that. Those words are, we served him today with notice of intent to seek life without parole. We are coming hard against that individual, and there will be accountability for anyone who was involved in that. We take this so seriously, but I can't imagine a situation that highlights more the need for the solutions that the Attorney General and Director Sterling talked about than the fact that we have a child victimized from within the prison. We tell people when we put these individuals in prison that we're protecting society, we're protecting you. And we didn't because of the limitations that are put on us. So I echo Director Sterling's call for money from the legislature to put in place these new systems. But I also echo the call from the FCC in Washington, D.C. to provide more solutions for us to fight this problem so that we can ensure that when we do put a cartel drug trafficker away or a murderer away, or a child molester away, that they can't keep doing those crimes.
Preach, Creighton. Preach, brother. I love this guy. This dude is straight up G, a straight G.
From behind bars. And that's what this partnership is about. I really want to thank everyone here. SLED, SCDC in particular are the main partners on this, the 13th Circuit. But this partnership is working. And so we're going to continue to do that. And we're going to continue to look for other agencies that we can partner with so that we can take the state grand jury and really make a difference. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. In closing, the combination of contraband cell phones coupled with corrupt prison officials are contributing to a lot more. They're contributing to riots, gang activity, collusion with Mexican drug cartels who are trafficking into this country and into this state. It's contributing to horrible, heinous acts against small children, and it's got to stop. And we need those in the federal government to, I think, drop one word into a federal statute to give state prisons the ability to drop that iron curtain over prisons. And we're going to come as hard as we possibly can with the powers given to us under the state constitution and state law. We're going to wield the state grand jury with our state and federal partners to go after those who are abusing their power in the system. And we're going to do everything we can to end it. So with that, I want to thank all of you for being here today. We are happy collectively to answer any questions you may have. We'll obviously make ourselves available.
How frustrates is it that you have people behind bars, but they're still big crimes?
Well, I think when Brian and I both started this job, I had a lot more hair and his hair was a lot darker.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredibly frustrating. It is incredibly frustrating when we keep going to folks in the federal government and we keep saying, if we can just drop this word in, we can just do one tweak to a federal statute that allows us to do what is already being done in the Federal Bureau of Prisons, we can eliminate so much drug activity, so much gang activity, so much human trafficking activity, so much corruption. But the fact that we just get so much resistance over one simple word that allows us to do something that other prisons are doing is very frustrating. And so we have to go in there, and instead of just blocking it all out, we have to go in there and like surgical strike teams with all of these partner agencies at the local and state level. We have to go in there, we have to take these people out onesies and twosies like whack-a-mole is what it feels like to me. And it's incredibly frustrating. Honestly, it ticks me off. I'm sure it ticks off everyone up here, but that's where we are. And we're going to continue to do that until people in the federal government get off their butts and do what they're supposed to do.
Preach, brother, preach.
Oh, please.
I was listening to a member of Congress, high-ranking member of Congress the other day talking about fentanyl and how we need to close the border. And that's a federal issue. But one of the things I wanted to ask that Congressman was, why aren't you for jamming cell phones? Why don't you have a hearing on this? Because 100% fentanyl is being made in China and Mexico. And then the folks that are incarcerated in South Carolina for drug trafficking, similar crimes, they go to prison and they're able to do the same thing and make a lot of money. And they're coordinating with these folks in Mexico, these cartels, and they're killing our citizens. Fentanyl is so dangerous. I mean, we had some we found in the prison a while back, and they're found in prisons, but it's so dangerous. They're killing our children. And there's a simple solution out there to stop a lot of this. But a sheriff in Chester who said that, cell phones are the biggest public safety threat that we face. And he used to be with.
Oh, Sam's Rocks. Yeah, Creighton Waters rips, man. He's got a band. He's legit.
SLED, and he was head of the drug area at SLED that we face in South Carolina and the United States. I mean, they're killing our children by these cell phones, by trafficking fentanyl into the United States and coordinating and making money after these folks behind me work very hard in very dangerous conditions to convict these folks, and they're sent to prison for public safety. It's nonsensical to me. And to answer your question, frustrating is not the word, dangerous is the word. And we're seeing the results of that today.
Preach.
Yeah, and these phones, they're not just putting correctional officers' lives at risk and safety at risk, and each other at risk. People out in our communities. Several years ago, y'all remember the riots? Cell phone at the heart of that. You know, the last couple of years, there's been a number of state grand jury cases where we've had tons and tons of meth, fentanyl, illicit drugs, weapons coming in over the southern border in collaboration and coordination with Mexican drug cartels, with people who were communicating with inmates in the prison system, and it's pouring into the upstate and throughout all of South Carolina.
Look, I mean, these networks have existed forever, guys. These networks in the prisons, outside the prisons, the way that they conduct business from inside the prison, outside of the prison, that's been going on forever. I mean, forever. But the ease at with which they do it now, with the technology that they get in, it's like, yeah, it's super efficient. Super freaking efficient. Criminal says, G, party in prison tomorrow. I guess so. Sam, X is Twitter. It's what they changed it to, X, which I'm on X as well, Sam. You know what I mean? So if you go over there, you sub up, give me a follow, whatever it is over there, whatever they call it on Twitter or X. It's feeding a much horrible problem, and eliminating the ability for them to use cell phones would make our lives and our jobs so much easier and our states so much safer. That was a long question to a short, long answer to a short question, but it's important for us to hammer that home. Any other?
State. It says feds can jam, states cannot. So it allows the federal government, any federal agency to jam. A couple of years ago, I was designated as a deputy U.S. Marshal, and we had that test at Broad River, the first one in the country that was a live test, and that worked very, very well. We've proven it can work. We've proven it's safe. We've proven there's no bleed over. It's nonsensical that they won't do this. However, they did come up with this other solution, and it appears to be working. But this has been over a decade's worth of efforts by a lot of people standing before you and in Washington and here.
All right. That is it, y'all. That is it. So we got into Delphi, right? We have Judge Gold. I still want to know what's wrong with Judge Gold. I want to know why she's what kind of medical condition she's dealing with. We got into the cameras in the courtroom with Koberger, which, you know, is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. At least we're getting something, right? Something's better than nothing. So, and then we covered the transcript from inside the judge's room. Her let me see what it. All right, just making sure I didn't miss anything on chat. And then we went over this current bust, this massive sting on all these nasty pedos and drug traffickers in South Carolina prisons. Crazy, dude, crazy. South Carolina definitely got to keep cracking down, man. That's insane. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for this show. Let me give some sweet, quick shout outs for all my people. And then we're going to wrap it up. Y'all, we're going to wrap it up. All right, let's see. There we go. So my shout outs for my November supporters, all my people supporting through CashApp, PayPal, or Venmo. We got Miss Sassy 7. We got Angela K with 2. We got TLC is me with 2. We got Back Row Becky with 1. And we got Criminal Med with 2. Thank you, ladies. And then November Super so far, we have BM Turtle Madness, Moto Mom, ZA, Lori P, Jeannie Ange, Angela K, Pat Gaines, Easy E, April P, Stony Stone, Darzilla, and Ivamos. And for our month of November membership donators, we have Moto Mama 40, ZA with 5, April P with 5, Stony Stone with 5, and Ivamos with 10. Much love to all my people that are supporting this channel and supporting our community every which way. I appreciate you all so very much. Let me see. Hey, Mr. G. Brooks, good to see you, sir. We doing all right. You just rolling into the wrap up. You're rolling into the wrap up. Let's see. Sam says, I keep getting confused on the one Elon runs between Twitter and YouTube. Yeah, Elon, it was Twitter, which is now X for sure. For sure, yeah. Bob donated. Bob's always doing cool Bob things. All right, guys. So Other than that, let me do the channel housekeeping, and then you know what I mean. I'll stop torturing y'all because, man, it looked like I ran everybody else off. Either that or everybody else went to go hang out somewhere else. So, anyways, for all my people that have made it this far on the replay, because I know everybody that's made it this far on the live already knows the deal. But if you're new here, if you'd like me to cover a case or a trial, or you got information that you'd like me to cover, or you want to reach out to me, talk to me about the channel, or just, you know, whatever, hit me up on any of the socials. We got X, we got Instagram, and we got Facebook, and we also have my email. The links for all those are down in the channel description and the video description as well. Hit me up, let me know. I love to cover stuff. I love taking requests, so get at me. And then what else? Donations. If you want to donate to the channel to help, you know, run this bad boy, we have the links to CashApp, Venmo, or PayPal down in the description of the video and the channel description as well. If you do leave a donation that way, it goes towards the channel, running it, the programs, equipment, all that good stuff. And if you leave a donation, let me know what platform you're watching me from and leave your screen name so I can put you up on a donation wall that I put up before every live stream. And then also I can give you a shout out. So, and then let me know what you think about the channel as well. And if you want to donate to the channel, but you don't want to do it monetarily like that with the money, cash app, whatnot, we have a Amazon registry for equipment we need for the studio. So if you'd like to donate that way, I'd appreciate it as well. That being said, don't feel like anybody's got to donate. It's appreciated, but not necessary. All I ask is you just keep showing up and watching the lives, smashing the like, sharing the videos, all that good stuff. That's all I can really ask for. But other than that, y'all, your boy's exhausted. I know y'all can tell. The reading was hella slow. I apologize, guys. But hey, I got up here. We did the show. And I mean, what would my day be without, you know, seeing you guys at least one time? So that being said, guys, I'm gonna let you get out of here. Thank you guys for being here. Hope you appreciated it. Hope it was entertaining or educational or it was something. It's your boy, the real Piscine Predator, aka TPP, baby. And until the next video, the next live, or the next short, I'm out, y'all. Much love. Peace.